Ranking the best wide receivers in Madden 25. And boys, we are back here with another tier list update. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the receiver position. Before we get into today's video, I do want to talk about our sponsor real quick, MMOEXP.com. If you guys want an alternative to buying packs, consider buying coins at MMOEXP and make sure to use code DILL at checkout for 5% off your order. Now, before we do want to get into the new cards right here, I do think we have to change some things up. And for me, I'm going to keep Calvin Johnson in this S tier, the rank reward. And besides that, I'm going to drop everyone down a singular tier. And for me, I'm also going to drop down D-Hop and Cooper Kupp into this B tier. I like these guys in A tier a little bit more than them. They're kind of in that B plus type of range. But yeah, this is what the tier list is going to look like before we get into the new cards. Now, the first card we got right here is upgradable field pass Devin Hester. And this card, we will rank him based on his 98. And this card can be 98 speed, 98 acceleration, but at the same time as well, gets all 32 team chems, which at this point, I feel like with all 32 team chem players, so easy to run at least 140 out of 40 theme team. I think it's pretty easy to run a 40-20 as well. But anyway, you could get him up to 99 speed really easily. Good route runnings across the board, 99 change of direction too. And for his abilities, he gets 2 discounted buckets where he does get 2 things for 0 AP. He gets like a human joystick and grab and go, or a human just a joystick jukebox. And I really like this Devin Hester card. For me, he's going to be someone that I think is like in this A tier though, and I think you can debate placement. I think like Reggie Wayne with the rack 'em up. I also want to move up Davante Smith like higher in this tier too, with their built-on X factors like rack 'em up and double me. The reason why I'm saying that is, of course, like the bottleneck press could play a decent amount of bottleneck press, and getting those X factors is valuable. That's why Calvin is still in the S tier for me, one of the cheapest double me's. And yeah, I think another 99 speed receiver, and again, just like a 99 speed receiver right here with 2 good discounted buckets. Worthy's kind of debatable in this A tier, I should say as well now, with the 97 speed. And right after that, we get Dolphins great Malik Washington, who's 5'9", 191, 95 speed, 94 acceleration, hits 90s across the board for route running, and no discounted abilities this time. I think Malik Washington is like a tier worse than say like Joe Horn and Keenan Allen. I would place him in the C tier, one of the better budget options in my opinion. After that, we get Deontay Johnson, Genkai Force card, who's 5'10", 183, 94 speed, 93 acceleration, does hit 90s across the board for route running. Of course, no discount abilities on this card. For me, this Deontay Johnson, tier worse than Malik Washington, gonna be in this D tier by like Marquez Brown and Jahan Dotson. Then we get Juju Smith-Schuster, who's 93 speed, 94 acceleration, 6'1", 90 for short and medium route running, doesn't hit it for deep, and I feel like that's a big downfall of the card. For me, Juju is going to be in the F tier because of that. We also get out of position Mel Blount at wide receiver, who's 6'3", 93 speed, 91 acceleration. Again, pretty similar to Juju, doesn't hit the deep route running threshold. So at this point for me, Mel Blount will be in this F tier. Then we get 93 overall Jaylen Hyatt, who's 6 foot, 94 speed, 93 acceleration, 90 for short, medium, and deep route running, 90 beat press. Again, no discounted abilities, but I think this card is solid budget option. Tier worse than Malik Washington, gonna be in this D tier for me again by like Deontay Johnson, Marquez Brown, Jahan Dotson. After that, we get MVS right here, who is 6'4", 93 speed, 93 acceleration, doesn't hit 90 for short route running. I do like the 6'4", the 90 medium, the 90 deep route running. No discounted abilities, doesn't hit all route running thresholds. For me, he'll be in the F tier. And really the huge 93 overalls that I think are kind of crazy are the 2 rookies or the combine cards. I think of them rookies, of course, because they're going to go in the draft. Luther Burden, 95 speed, 96 acceleration, doesn't look crazy, but at the same time, keep in mind, all 32 team chems, and they get 2 separate buckets of 2 different team chems, and all the boosts you can get with this cards right now. If you have Kurt Benkert, that's 1 speed, that's 96 speed on the card. If you have the combine strategy item, another speed point, that's 97 speed. Run a theme team, say you run 40 out of 40, like whatever theme team, 99 speed right there. Kind of crazy, right? And if you run a 40-20, you could get 5 speed, which you don't need it for either of the cards, but that's for Colston Loveland to get him up to 99 speed. And does hit all the route running thresholds as well, 90 for everything. And at the same time too, Luther Burden does get a discount ability bucket where you can get the short in for 1. I mean, really the only thing that's lacking on the card, I use that term very loosely, is like the built-on X factors, I guess, to beat the bottleneck. But I think Luther Burden is an easy addition to this A tier, and he's probably my personal favorite in this A tier. He's probably my personal favorite, and also the next card we're gonna cover. But yeah, that's gonna make me drop down Xavier Worthy too, because at the same time, you can get these cards easily 97 speed, and like everything that Xavier Worthy does, he can just do better, right? I have very similar thoughts to, of course, Emeka Egbuka as well. But this time he's 6'1", 96 speed, and again, Kurt Benkert, NFL Combine strategy item, and at the same time, you run a theme team, 99 speed easily, right? And also, he has 90s across the board for route running, and a same discounted ability bucket as Luther Burden. These are 2 of my favorite cards in the game. I always love the rookie cards. For me, another easy addition to the A tier. And right after that, we get back-to-back Jaylen Waddles. I might add Dolphins great Jaylen Waddle. This card is 5'10", 182, 95 speed, 95 acceleration with 90s across the board for route running. This time as well at the 95, he does get ankle breaker, grab and go for 0, short and elite for 1, slot apprentice for 1. And if we go over to the 96 Jaylen Waddle, he gets 2 speed, 97 speed, 97 acceleration, and good route runnings across the board. And at the same time, abilities look really similar. Like for me, the ankle breaker losing 1 AP really doesn't change much, but short and elite, grab and go, I would run the short and elite for 1 if I am going to run an ability on this card. For me, the 96 Jaylen Waddle, I think he's another addition to this A tier, while the 95, I do like the short and elite for 1. I think he's right by Joe Horn in this B tier. And now right after that, we do get Chris Olave, and Chris Olave is 6 foot, 187, 96 speed, 97 acceleration, 90s across the board for route running. And this time for Chris Olave's discount abilities, he can go ahead and get 2 separate buckets right here, and he gets grab and go, jukebox, outside apprentice for 1, mid and elite for 0. It's like you know, it's nothing crazy. 96 speed guy, like I'd put him in the B tier, like he's solid. After that, we get Brandin Cooks, and Brandin Cooks is 5'10", 96 speed, 95 acceleration, 90s across the board for route running yet again, and this time ability bucket on the card. I do like Slotomatic for 1. I do mid out elite for 0 as well. Slotomatic, play him in the slot. I think it's a pretty I don't want to say underrated ability, but I think it is good. He's gonna be in this B tier again. I think he's right by like Keenan Allen, and Keenan Allen has the height while he has a little bit of speed. Then after that, we get Davante Adams, and we're also going to cover the fusion card, Tariq Woolen. And Davante Adams is 6'1", 96 speed, 95 acceleration with, again, hits all route running thresholds. Sound like a broken record saying that. This time Davante Adams, though, for his discount abilities, of course it's a fusion card, so it's going to have the defensive ones as well, but for offense, mid and elite for 0. You know, nothing crazy. Really nothing too crazy on the offense side of the ball, right? Like it's just mid and elite for 0. It's okay. Like for me, he'd be right by Chris Olave. And now let's talk about Tariq Woolen, though, who will take all of Davante Adams' offensive stats, but he's 6'4", so he must be better than Davante Adams, right? Same exact abilities too. Actually, no, because if you guys use this Tariq Woolen card, it's not consistent, I will say that, but he can just randomly drop passes. It's like a bug with playing defensive players on offense. Like it still registers him as a CB on offense, even though like he has good catching. He'll just randomly drop the ball. And for me, like he has to be F tier because of that. And Davante Adams, on the other hand, is going to be right by Chris Olave in this B tier. Like, if he just didn't randomly drop the ball, I would place him right by Davante Adams. But again, just randomly drops the ball. So for me, going to be in the F tier. And right after that, we do get AJ Green right here. Ultimate Legend, who is 6'4", 97 speed, 93 acceleration. Great route runnings across the board. This time for AJ Green's abilities as well. Gets a bunch for discount, man. And mid in and mid out elite for 0 AP. That's cool. You can run the deep out for 1. I don't hate that. Besides that, you don't get like crazy things. And I think AJ Green is debatably in the S tier. I think it's very close for me. Big body receiver. Do I like him more than like the Reggie Wayne and like Devontae Smith X Factor guys though? He's like my favorite one in A, but I can definitely see him in the S tier. This is tough. Like look, I could kind of see Luther Burden and Emeka Egbuka in the S tier too with their 99 speed. I just am worried about them versus the bottlenecks. That's really it. Ah man, AJ Green's a tough one. We're gonna come back to this, okay? Because at the same time, we do get Johnny Wilson, who is 6'7", 96 speed, 95 acceleration, 90s cross court route running. Again, I do want to say as well, I don't rate these based on theme teams unless they're all 32 team chem players, because I know Eagles is a popular theme team, so Devontae Smith and Johnny Wilson are probably S tier for you guys that run Eagles theme team. But at the same time too, like if we keep that same energy with like Reggie Wayne or like AJ Green, they're all S tier too. So I feel like that's why they're on the same level. And yeah, I just want to say that real quick. But Johnny Wilson as well right here, when we look at his abilities, he gets a mid and elite for 0 and a matchup nightmare for 1 if you did want to run a 1 AP ability, which matchup nightmare isn't terrible. I think this Johnny Wilson card, I think AJ Green is better. And I think I'm going to go like this. I'm going to put Johnny Wilson in the A tier, and I'm going to move AJ Green into the S tier just ever so slightly. Like he's more of an A plus type of range for me. And now right after that, we do get T Higgins right here, who is 6'4", 97 speed, 96 acceleration. Something that I do want to note is these physical wide receivers are actually kind of valuable. And going back to Johnny Wilson, who's also a physical receiver, only people that can get the tank ability, which like if you take a look at all the avalanches we're getting, a little bit valuable. So that can add some value too. This card gets the jukebox for 0. Like I just don't like his abilities. Like route tech for 2 is all right, but I'd rather just get short and elite for 1. Backyard wide receiver, you don't really need, you know, like, because you have QB playmaker, you have route apprentices. For me, he's like worse than AJ Green. And for that reason, I'm going to place him also in the A tier as well. I don't think he's that bad, but like, I'd rather run AJ Green. I'd rather run Calvin. We do get Randy Moss, and Randy Moss is 6'4", 210, 98 speed, 96 acceleration. Great route runnings, of course. And this time, Randy Moss gets red zone threat, human joystick for 0. I like those 0 AP abilities. Can also get short and elite for 1 AP, and I'd recommend running that. I think Randy Moss, for me, is a pretty easy addition to the S tier. And I'd probably say he's better than Calvin. I think go either which way because Calvin is the cheapest double me, so it's like, I get it. And now ending it off right here, Christian Watson, 6'4" guy, 98 speed, 96 acceleration, great route runnings across the board. Now you need a token to really make this card great. And he gets acrobat and leapfrog for 0 AP baked on. Really doesn't really affect much in my opinion. But besides that, I mean, jukebox outside prince right here, double me for 1 AP. This is awesome because, again, for me, it's not throwing it up and agging with him. It's the fact that it can insta beat the bottleneck press that isn't user pressed. And besides that as well, I mean, you get a red zone threat, you get a short elite for 1. So take back that short and elite for 1. You get short elite with the short in, short out. I think Christian Watson is the best receiver in the game. And for me, Christian Watson going to be top end of this S tier. So yeah, boys. This has been my updated thoughts on the receiver position in Madden 25 Ultimate Team. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with. I mean, the A tier is absolutely loaded. The B tier, if you're still running those guys on like a theme team and stuff, I understand it. But yeah, this is my thoughts. Hopefully you guys did enjoy today, man. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Madden 25 Ultimate Team content just like this. Now, if you guys do want to go and see me use these cards live on stream, have been streaming to both YouTube and Twitch to watch on the YouTube. Make sure to hit that noti bell as well. You'll be notified every time I upload or go live here. Or if you guys want to watch on the Twitch, check the links in the description, hit that Twitch with a follow. But if you guys do want another video to watch, check out this one right here.